It's a Sunday afternoon scorcher in San Diego with temperatures well into the 90s as we get set to bring you Pac-12 women's soccer. Welcome into a West Coast showdown. We've got the Portland State Vikings and the San Diego State Aztecs. And with that, we say hello from the SDSU Sports Deck. I'm David Gentili here to take you through this one. Both teams coming off of clean sheet defeats last time out. For Portland State, it was a 2-0 loss in Riverside against California Baptist. And San Diego State, right here at home, dropped a 1-0 decision to number 10 Washington at the Sports Deck last Wednesday. Megan Townsley is pitch side for us today. Megan, we got a couple teams here that need to be more goal dangerous. Who can help them do that?
Well, David, the Aztecs couldn't generate the same offensive pressure against the Huskies as they did against UC San Diego. Alexis Leith, who was one of SDSU's leading goal scorers in 2025, did have 2 shots on goal last match. And before the season, Coach Friesen even predicted Leith would score 7 to 10 goals for the Aztecs. Portland State, on the other hand, has had a rockier start to the season. And while they haven't hit the back of the net yet, the Vikings generated more offensive chances through their third match. Junior Elias Aldana had 4 total shots and 1 on target against Cal Baptist, and she led her team in shots last season. Tonight, Portland will look to notch their first goal of the season, while the Aztecs try to find the same offensive success they had a few matches ago. David?
And a lot of changes to boot for Portland State in its starting 11. 5 new faces joining the fold compared to that match against California Baptist. It's Kendall Johnson, Amelia Sitton, Camila Contreras-Braun, Aaliyah Saldana, who you heard about a moment ago, and Wynn Farrell joining the starting 11 with Alexis Boyer, Renee Davis, Josie DeLine, Elle Frazier, and Ocean Rideout making way for this group at 0-3. Still looking for its first goal of the season under third-year head coach Maureen Whitney. And on the other side for San Diego State, one of the leaders for the Aztecs, Katie Sen. She had an assist on Kenny Moore's match winner against UC San Diego to open the season earlier this year in La Jolla. And for the Aztecs, they'll go with 2 changes compared to that matchup to 10th-ranked Washington. KK Chiwana-Bandu is into the starting lineup, had a really good effect off the bench against the Huskies. Ava Weiss will also see the Chula Vista native and Nevada transfer, with Rory Shank and Brianna Geiger making way for longtime head coach Mike Friesen. 20th season, 205 career wins for SDSU. Aztecs are in the white with the scarlet, attacking right to left. Portland State comes in the green. San Diego State at 1-1, looking for its first home win. Portland State looking for its first goal of this 2026 season. And San Diego State about 30 yards out in front, eager to get this thing going. We'll have to bring it back and kick it off once again. And here we go. Aztecs with a 2-0 win at UC San Diego. Took care of business in an all-city tie to start the year. And then against 10th-ranked Washington, biggest challenge that they faced was relentless high pressure, and it led to the lone Husky goal on a goal kick takeaway and a penalty. Expect to find the Aztecs with more room to breathe here in this one. They get an early chance right across the face of goal, and it goes out wide. That's a positive start for San Diego State as they look to pick out KK Chiwana-Bandu. And that'll lead to an opportunity here. Keep this move going off of an Aztec corner. They'll take it down, play it quick. Lots of space for this one. Take the short cross, trying to play it near post. Chiwana-Bandu's got the shooting boots on. And a couple early looks, positive and fast start inside of the first minute for Mike Friesen's group. New members of the Pac-12 this season with some of the top-tier women's soccer sides of yesteryear in the Mountain West, along with a few of the old Pac-12 squads. It's Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, Gonzaga, Oregon State, Texas State, Utah State, and Washington State. And if I say state one more time, I might implode. State, 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 state. Just assume, for the most part, everybody, except for the Zags. Free kick coming up here for San Diego State. Group that is very confident coming into this season. One of the things to keep an eye out early on this year for SDSU, they play in a three-back. They typically load up the midfield with 6. A lot of where this team gets after the opposition is wide interchange, with wingers and midfielders doing the most of the damage. They had a super new group last year. A lot of that group coming back here in 2026. So it's progression. It started out focusing on defensive principles, felt like they got those nailed down. Now it's about getting back to Mike Friesen soccer as you know it at San Diego State, which means a lot of attack. On the move here inside the first couple minutes. Portland State on the other side, 2 matches away from home out of the 3 so far, all defeats. Team that has not scored yet this season, -6 goal differential on the year, and trying to break a non-conference losing streak of 10 matches against Division I opposition. You got to go back to 2024 against Seattle, the last time Portland State won outside of the Big Sky. They did pick up a win over Division II Western Oregon last year in non-con play. Free kick, promising position for San Diego State. Aztecs serve it up, bounces into the box. Chawana Bandu with the left, and Finley Crabtree right there. Dangerous position once again. And you can see why this was one of the 2 changes for the Westlake product out of Oak Park. Chawana Bandu, Mike Friesen really high on her potential coming in. Ends up right in front of goal, a teammate alongside Finley Crabtree as well, and nothing but calmness from the senior in-city product out of Portland. This squad well represented. A lot of student athletes for the Vikings playing for their hometown team. I mean, they got Rose City emblazoned across the chest in these green kits. That's the team identity. Not only to have that many student athletes, such a heavy presence from the state of Oregon, 11 Oregonians with this group, 10 from the Portland metro area. Aztecs here with Alexis Leith, well represented with a lot of hometown Aztecs as well. The San Diego product out of West Hills High School. Just about 5 minutes gone at the sports deck. Early action here in this 2026 NCAA women's soccer season. One meeting all time between these 2 groups. You got to go back to 1997, second year of the Vikings as a Division I program. It was a 4-0 win for San Diego State here. Kaylee Carlin will retrieve the ball and get SDSU going once again. Not much in the way of significant absences of note for either of these 2 teams coming on early to the year. The other thing is you look at these matches that happened last week, and the Aztecs have the benefit of an extra night of rest, having played at home here on Wednesday. Portland State played on Thursday, also on the road. Then you add in mid-90-degree heat. So as much as anything, early season fitness and depth will be crucial for both teams. Aztecs racing forward. Victoria Miller rolls it in. Strong hands by Crabtree going to ground. And Finley gets in the way once again. This is pretty cool for this group. It's not uncommon to have a pair of siblings on a team, as you're going to get a look at some more of this work by Crabtree and locking down that near post. Rolled in a little tight for San Diego State. Another good advance on the 6-yard box by the Aztecs. And Alexis Leith is offside. Not uncommon to have siblings, but ultra rare that both of them are goalkeepers, and Finley's sister Kieran is a new member of the Vikings this season. Also part of that Portland State goalkeeping crew. Spent a freshman year at Division II San Francisco State in the CC2A, a very good D2 soccer league. Free kick back here for San Diego State. Aztecs against UC San Diego. 2 goals in that opener, one by Kenny Moore, one by Victoria Miller. They're looking dangerous early. Miller once again faked this shot. Rolls it centrally, but Portland State with a green wave falling back, and another one of the Portland natives, Sydney Spots, out of LaSalle High School, starting for the 4th time in as many matches. Able to recover and get it away. But a lot of play through Miller down the right so far for SDSU. Weren't able to spend a lot of time on meaningful possession in the attacking half against Washington. It was high pressure and it kept them pinned in, and that's something that Mike Friesen likes about this team, its ability to play through pressure. Not for nothing, that's a top 10 team in the country that made an Elite 8 run with 3 players on the Herman watch list and a terrific young goalkeeper. Washington's a very good side, and San Diego State, as it always does, apt to schedule tough. And you look at that old crew of Mountain West teams, Aztecs almost always at the top of the league in non-conference strength of schedule. No exception this year. Katie Sen out of the midfield. Plays it off to the right. Returned back to Sen. Now a left-footed ball in. Looking for a runner. Can't get it. Aztecs still with it. Miller couldn't get the shot away cleanly. More of the same for San Diego State. Advancing on the right areas. Getting into the box. Laying down some good building blocks in this match. It's too easy to look at some of these individual cases and say, well, that opening was here and that avenue was there. You should have taken this, should have done that. What they're doing is getting into an attacking flow. Back to the Aztecs and Kenny Moore. Moore with the left, trying to uncork some more magic, and she does. Kenny Moore keeps scoring outside the box, and it's 1-0 San Diego State. Hit it with the left, full stretch for Crabtree on a low hop and just snuck by the Viking keeper. She had one of the goals of opening night, the viral left-footed finish with outside the box. It was terrific. It's a confidence-building type of hit. It was the match winner against UC San Diego. And Moore, the first to get on the score line today. The senior out of Yakima, Washington, formerly of Eastern Washington, also a Big Sky program. So used to sharing the stage with Portland State, and right back into that head-to-head goes Moore. 10 goals and 9 assists over 3 seasons with the Eagles. Left-footed cross comes on. Good-looking ball for Portland State. Aztecs cannot keep it from crossing, and the Vikings, looking for the answer, have a corner. Second goal with the Aztecs, 12th in the NCAA career of Kenny Moore. And when you get upper-class transfers, you're looking for them to come and make an impact right away. It's not a case where, well, we'll have time to develop. You get a little bit early on in the season, but generally, if you're transferring in as a senior like Moore is, and you're starting right away, they're looking for that immediate production. And Moore has provided that to start the year. Dangerous looking ball off the corner. Ping-pongs around a little bit. Portland State racing in. Still loose with Carlin on the pitch, trying to knock it through bodies, and they can't do it. San Diego State somehow keeps it out. And Carlin, in a whole bunch of traffic, is down on the pitch for the Aztecs here. First header that time flicked on by Wynn Farrell. How did this not get in the back of the net? And you could see the little bump on Carlin going in while she was down on the pitch. And that is basically a mosh pit. That's looking like Warped Tour up in Long Beach a handful of weeks ago. Everybody in together. 4 Aztecs, shoulder to shoulder, not yielding the space. Great look for Portland State. And a clutch defensive effort by the Aztecs as the Vikings making a bid to put us back on terms. Amelia Sitton will go and chase this one down. UC Irvine transfer formerly out of the Big West. Or the Chandler, Arizona native gets it on back to Finley Crabtree. Flicked on that time by Kendall Johnson, trying to chase it down. Carlin took home Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week honors after coming through with a 4-save shutout against UC San Diego. Those are always interesting ones. When you go back and you watch a keeper and you say Player of the Week, not all saves are created equal. You could have 4 very routine saves. You could have 4 above average saves. And for Carlin, it was a couple big ones as the Tritons had threatened early in that match. Aztecs up a goal early first half, back on the move with Kenny Moore. Moore this time with the right, puts it out. Easy to see that the confidence is sky high, and that's exactly what you want for San Diego State. Because this is a team right now that you look at some returners, Victoria Miller on your screen there, number 12 for the Aztecs, got off to a great start last season. And on a 1v2 high press, was able to pick off the Triton back line to get San Diego State's second goal of that opener. Took an injury. It ended up being a tougher second half to the season for Miller. But, you know, you've got that goal-scoring ability to tap into, but there's a lot of potential offense to go around for this team. And Joanna Bandu in with that crew as well. Talking with Mike Friesen about Moore. The first note that he said was she's been unreal on the defensive side. Elite with that attention to detail, one of our best defenders individually, and that was, by the way, after that first game at UC San Diego. So it wasn't like he said it going into the season. He said it after that viral goal and a brilliant finish from Moore, who's quickly building a highlight tape for San Diego State. Ava Weiss along the back line. Some emergency defending here for SDSU as Portland State finds a takeaway. It looks like that one had hit off the pilot who was down on the ground, Contreras Braun, and now SDSU wins it back. It's been San Diego State who's had the run of play. The Vikings, though, have found some moments to get forward. Joanna Bandu. Couple step overs, lets it fly with the right, and it's stopped by Crabtree. Nicely hit, just right at the keeper. Able to get set up on the right foot here. Was going up against Sitton, got Sitton leaning right, and perfectly timed that little lean for Joanna Bandu to her right. Pilots make the move along the back line. Kainani Jakang, a 3-sport athlete at Portland State, also lettered in softball and track and field. mostly as a pinch runner for the softball team, also in 200 meters at the track level, and that's all you need to know to understand how fast Jokang is for this team. They have a Beach, Hawaii native. In her senior campaign for Portland State, a lot of continuity on the coaching staff. Maureen Whitney, third year at the helm, 10th season overall, 22 All-Big Sky honorees, and a decent number of them back on the squad this season. So they've got some experience. They've got some decorated student athletes. They turned in a nice league campaign last year. They went 3-3-2 in the Big Sky to go 4th out of 9 and lost in the conference tourney quarters to 5th seed in Idaho. Aztecs finding more space down the right side. First time hit is knocked down, and Crabtree able to keep it in front. That's Victoria Miller going for it once again. A debut campaign with the Aztecs last year, coming over from Ohio State, and finished with the spot on the Mountain West all-newcomer team. 5 goals last season to tie for the Aztec lead. Spots chasing after this one had lost the footing. Aztecs looking to be opportunistic with more, but Portland State able to work its way out of it. Viking group that is not too far removed from a really successful stretch of league championships. 5 of them in program history. 3 straight from 2011 to 2013. 4 in 5 years from 2009 to 2013. We talked about the non-conference stretch for this group and looking for a first non-conference D1 opponent win in 2 seasons. But everything in non-con geared to get you ready for conference, and the results when this team does get into league play showing how it grew and how it got settled in to get ready for some Big Sky battles, and it's taking on a promising San Diego State team here. Alexis Nakamoto has a go with the left. That one is off the mark, and let's say hello to Megan Townsley.
Well, David, you mentioned earlier that Ava Weiss got her start on the back line today for the Aztecs. Well, it's a funny story how she came over to the Mesa. Coach Friesen told us before the season that he met Weiss's dad through playing golf, and that she went to school with his kids growing up. Once Weiss entered the transfer portal from Nevada, Coach Friesen knew she would be a great fit here on the Mesa, and he said especially she's been impressive with how she's performed since joining the team. David?
Yeah, the move for Weiss was initially to come to San Diego State to go to grad school after finishing up in Reno. And Friesen said they made the connection, and at the day she was like, oh yeah, I'd like to continue playing soccer, had that eligibility. He said that was one of the easiest portal moves that he's ever made, and a lot of good things come from having golfing buddies. San Diego State rolling it through. Leith trying to get there. It's been a busy start for Finley Crabtree, confidently forward off the line. The Aztecs playing there on the ground, playing very direct. We've seen some shots from distance. We've seen some passes rolled into the box, trying to set it up on the doorstep type of looks. There's positive moves forward. The right side's looking great, and there's a lot of variety with how San Diego State is approaching this game from an attacking standpoint. A lot more runs forward, a lot more chances already than they were able to muster against Washington, although it was, we'll say, a good close for SDSU's part. Separate the results of that game. They spent so much time in their own half, and you look down at the end, and I'd say those final 15 minutes, they, in a gotta-have-it type of moment, in a match where they weren't able to get on the ball as much as they would have wanted to, they did threaten for the equalizer. So some positives to take away from that and getting things going quickly in this matchup with Portland State. Already 8 shots and 4 on frame for the Aztecs. The Kenny Moore goal unassisted in the 10th minute. They're on the move again. A lot of the ball for Victoria. Miller sends it across the face and on out for a goal kick. 9th Aztec shot with a little more than 20 minutes gone. It's been all systems go, all systems downhill. Taking a little pace off and trying to place that thing far post for Miller. Mike Friesen saying about Miller and speaking on the heels of that good start to last season, that with how Miller progressed through the offseason, he felt like she comes into this season back in that early season form from a year ago. Substitution here for Portland State as Sydney Spots will take his seat, and we'll see Josie DeLine for the first time. Senior and Oregon native out of Weber State. Second season with this group. DeLine had previously started all 3 matches. 5 changes to the starting 11 for Maureen Whitney's side coming into this one. Non-conference is about tinkering and getting ready for conference. It's about trying to find that winning formula. Some contact here, a foul. And we could be seeing a yellow card. Yes, we will. A drag down challenge that time. Looked like Wynn Farrell, but we'll get confirmation of that for a moment. That's for the first time. Jay Schlesinger, our head referee. Daria Fedchaka with Blake Ricks and Husni Samara, the 4th official. Extended contact, little on the shoulder. And that is Wynn Farrell that goes into the book. Well, we know Moore can strike a ball from distance. Floats through a free kick, punched away from trouble. Right back on it for San Diego State. Still loose in the box. And away by the Vikings. Alexis Leith was in a lot of space. Ran up on the ball and ended up losing the footing. Couldn't connect how she would have hoped to. Another good moment for San Diego State. As we hit the hydration break here in the opening half, it is up to 97 degrees in San Diego. We all need it. And we'll be back with Pac-12 women's soccer after this. It's San Diego State on top 1-0. On the other side of the first half hydration break in San Diego, we welcome you back into the sports deck with San Diego State and Portland State. Here for Pac-12 women's soccer, Aztecs getting the offense going early and picking up a tally from Kenny Moore, second of the season in the 10th minute of action. They've continued to look dangerous after that. 9 shots, 4 on target, some nice variety within the attack, forcing 3 saves out of Finley Crabtree on the other side, who's gotten off to a busy start in between the pipes for the Vikings. Couple Aztecs checking into action here. Alana Gonzalez and Mia Hombro-Svensson. San Diego State goes to the bench. Hydration break coming right about at the halfway mark of the opening 45. No stoppage time in NCAA soccer, so we play right up to 45, and that's the half. Aztecs on the move, looking for Chowana Bandu. Couldn't connect, still loose in the box. Vikings come together and send it out. Only as far as the Norwegian international Hombro-Svensson, so San Diego State will stay on it here. Work through the right side of the attack. Back here to Hombro-Svensson. And playing with that back three, Charlie Gerson, the junior out of Playa del Rey and El Segundo High School. A back line that had the presence of Grace Goins, who was barely off the pitch in her 4 years as an Aztec. Interesting how they had it set up in one way. A couple preseason injuries forced the Aztecs to make some changes, including bringing Gerson to the middle spot of those 3 center backs. And played so well there that she's stuck. So Weiss right now up on the left side along that back line. Hombro-Svensson on the other side, and we're going into video review here. So one of the new rules changes in NCAA soccer this season. Each team gets 2 challenges, 9 specific things that you can go back and challenge. You don't get to retain them if you're successful, but we're going to be seeing them at points, and depending on how much information we can get out of this, unfortunately, it hasn't been much here in the early going. There's almost so much that you can challenge that unless we spot something specifically, it wouldn't even be worth it to speculate. So while they have a look, let's say hello again to Megan Townsley.
Well, David, I mentioned earlier that Coach Friesen was busy in the offseason coaching or golfing with some of the dads of the players, with Ava Weiss coming over. Another interesting story about recruitment was with number 22, Mia Hombro-Svensson from Norway. Coach Friesen told us that he traveled all the way to her hometown of Oslo, Norway, to watch her play in person. Coach said he's hesitant to make any calls about players just strictly based off film, but he told us it was pretty incredible to go across the world, find somebody, and it actually work out. Back to you, David.
He flew into Oslo. He landed on an ice field. All started out by, there's a lot of agencies in Europe that will send video, and Coach says, I'm always hesitant to make any calls solely on video. He called that wild. He's like, wow, we're literally on an ice field here. So watched Mia play for the day, went and met her after, came home, sent her a bunch of stuff, got on a Zoom, and said, yeah, she's a really sweet human being and such a good player for them. Hombro-Svensson at her best. It's when she has the ball and is one of the most elite passers out of the back. And that's why this substitution is really good at this moment. You look at the flow of the match. Good time for San Diego State to say, let's see what we can do to even make these connections better after how we've started first 20-plus minutes. Mike Friesen there for SDSU. Having a chat with the 4th official. And that's the other part. There's the VAR, and then there's all kinds of conversations that go on around it. I mean, nothing came across our ticker as far as changes there. But out of the 2 challenges, you don't get one back. The other wrinkle, once a team is out of challenges, the referee has some administrative things that they can do to stop the clock at any time. But if a team's out of challenges, then the referee has the power to go in past 80 minutes and review anything that a team could challenge. So I'll be interested to see how that comes in play as the year goes along. Trying to pick out Alana Gonzalez for SDSU, who brings this one down. Working on the right side, Gonzalez plays a cross in. Knocked down by the Vikings. And out of play. I spent a lot of time in the West Coast Conference. You're going to have to forgive me if I say Pilots at some point. Both seafarers in the city of Portland. Shoulder down in the box. Can't get a clean hit to it, but the offside flag is up here for SDSU. And again, Aztecs have been in the few spots, even with all the chances they have created, where they've just mishit some balls very close to goal. And another example of that in that last buildup, but it's a team that feels like it's got another goal coming at the moment. Up 1-0, 25 minutes down here against Portland State. And the Vikings have managed to make their way forward and find some good moments to get into the attacking half. But it feels for them right now a lot like it did for SDSU in its last match against Washington, where it's a question of how often do you have the ball in the attacking half of the pitch. And at the moment, as it stands, this is going to be a match for the Vikes where taking advantage of those opportunities when they get forward will be crucial. There's a high volume for San Diego State. They might just pick up another goal by way of attrition, but for the Vikings, they've got to make the most of some of these chances when they're able to get out of their own half and get forward. Defending that time to wall it off with Alana Gonzalez moving forward. Throw-in comes back for Portland State. Home against the Oregon Ducks. Lost that opener 3-0 back on the 13th. And a Sunday turnaround to Las Vegas. Battled the UNLV Rebels to a 1-0 defeat. And 2-0 against California Baptist on Riverside. But they will get set after a road-heavy swing to get back home for a good stretch coming up. Nevada, Western, Oregon at home. They'll be away to Portland for an in-city matchup with those Pilots. And then Boise State, good matchup of one of the new Pac-12 members, the Bedlam and Chaos of the Jim Thomas-led Broncos, for welcoming in another promising side in San Diego. Greg Laporte's crew turned a nice corner in the WCC. It's going to be a good non-conference stretch and a good chance to get back home. They'll be right at home and will not have to leave the Hillsborough-Portland area for the next 5 matches until you get into Big Sky play all the way down the line in October. Sent a second-team All-Mountain West performer last year. And on that Pac-12 impact list. Serves it up off the corner. Tracked down there by Leith, and the flag goes up. The indication was for handball, so free kick for Portland State. Aztecs a season ago, 9-7-4, 4-2-4 in the Mountain West to tie for 4th out of 13 teams. They won their quarterfinal matchup against Colorado State and took Boise State the distance in Boise, the top-seeded Broncos who won the regular season. 1-1 at full time and lost in penalties 3-2. Good build in that tough non-conference that we talked about into league play. And that's the thing about scheduling so tough in non-con, that they're so battle-tested when they get to league play regardless of what the results look like. Especially with the young team, what it went through. So there's a lot of potential for growth and for this group to take a step forward in what is going to be a very good Pac-12 this year. Trying to play one in behind. Great weight to the pass. Sets the Aztecs up, but some emergency defending late. And the offside flag comes up after the action as Katie Sen streaking forward at the top of the attack. Not always where she finds herself in this Aztec build. Kamaria Hughes, the senior out of Stockton and Fresno State transfer. Now in her third season with Portland State. Important intervention there. Yeah, the flag was going to wipe it out anyway, but that was some big-time clutch defending and catch-up. Header flicked on back. Looked dangerous maybe for a moment, but comfortable there for Kaylee Carlin. Started every match for the Aztecs since getting here as a true freshman last season. Came in at an elite level. Looking comfortable with the ball at her feet, and that's a good sign for San Diego State. They like that long build ability that they have, especially with the back three. 1 point of growth for Carlin this season will be how does she continue to get involved as that 11th outfield player, working into the build. Can pay massive dividends when you're able to make it work. Just frees up that one more teammate to try and get forward. Sinton takes the throw and leaves it in for Kainani Jakeng. Aztecs quickly trying to make some trouble in the attacking half. Vikings keeping some options in short support. Ball comes up the pitch, no teammate on the other end of it. Back to San Diego State. Fuller turned it centrally, drew some defenders in, leave it back onto the backliners, and the passing of Hambro Svensson. Takes a return pass from Fuller, now serves it. A nice looking effort over the head of Leith. A good challenge in the air. Jakeng getting up with Leith. Giving up a little bit of height, but able to make the right kind of contact to bump Leith off the spot. Gabby Flores into the action here for Portland State. And for San Diego State, they'll get Rory Schenk in along with Caroline Lundstrom.
Number 11, Rory Schenk. And number 23, Caroline Lundstrom.
Portland State settles on in here in the middle of the park. Saw Maya Wells, the Utah Valley transfer, check in a little while ago, so both teams tapping into that depth. Again, that is absolutely crucial on a shorter turnaround. Second game of the week in this kind of heat, this should be offside. Now the flag has gone up here with Alana Gonzalez, freshman from Fontana and Etiwanda High School. Looking to find its way, or her way rather, beyond the Portland State back line. Gabby Flores in her junior season out of Claremont and coming over from Chicago State. Few transfer teammates, along with Alexis Boyer and Renee Davis. Racked up 3 goals and 3 assists for the crew out of the Windy City last year. Aaliyah Saldana with it on the right side. First time cross, streaking through. And Wells off the bench, looking to catch it out of the air with the left boot. That ball was in a really nice spot. So one of those chances to get forward. It's been a minute since the Vikings have been able to bear down on the San Diego State goal. Now a chance to set up with a little bit of pressure. Aztecs looking to break it. Vikings take it back. Get it with Sarabia, but it's a free kick here for San Diego State. Aztecs will set to make another substitution. Brianna Geiger getting ready to roll. Found Kenny Moore on the right side. Good involvement from Moore early. Back to Weiss. Once again, Hambro Svensson. Buying time, chips the pass with the left. Trying to flood some numbers on that right side. Long cross, streaking in toward the back post goes Chawana Bandu on that effort from the Auburn transfer Rory Shank. Second season with the Aztecs, 16 matches here a season ago with 1 assist. Got a lot of variety in the attack. They've got a lot of different student athletes getting on the ball, putting crosses into the box. So they're, again, building those connections and flow. It's led to 1 goal so far. Pass to find Chawana Bandu in the midfield line. You can see the excellent control that she's got. Just dangling the ball on a spring. An attack cut out, taken away by DeLine. A lot of this match being played in the midfield at the moment. Change for both teams. Geiger, the San Diego native out of Patrick Henry High School, is into action as a starter for the Aztecs last time around. 16 matches for the group last season, and on the other side, another one of the starters, Alexis Boyer, in for Portland State. One of those 3 Chicago State transfers that we told you about. A lot of good experience there last year. 4th most minutes on the roster across 18 starts. Aztecs back on it with Moore. Some of those substitutions move some positioning around, so more in a wide spot here. Another cross gets in, sent on with the right. Wide of the near post, and no touch off of Portland State. So Crabtree will get set to get going once again. Eighth NCAA start for Finley Crabtree. Dealing with a lot of pressure early. Excellent pass here to set up Yamili Picon. Picon working around one Aztec, gets the cross away, took a deflection, sent off the 6 and out for a corner. Great pass to get Picon into space, and then she took it and did the rest. The Montebello native from El Rancho High School. 5 matches off the bench, so new into the starting crew this season. Picon winning her 14th NCAA cap today. Second corner for the Vikings. Nobody in, short support here. Service lands in the box, right through and blocked away again. Couple times they've had it close to goal, and San Diego State has rallied together and put up the wall, and this is a free kick coming up for the Vikings. Just a knockdown in the run of play late that time by Rory Shank. So this is from a similar spot as a corner, just a tiny bit closer and off center. Picon over there joined by Sarabia, Southern California native out of Aliso Viejo and Mater Dei High School. Second team all Big Sky performer Sarabia last year. And after taking that hit, Picon, who had the good run up the right side a moment ago. Remaining down on the pitch, another chance off a set piece and some sustained possession for the Vikings in a good spot. Sarabia to take a lot of options at the near post. Good height to this one. Headed out by Hombro Svensson. Try and play with the left back into the mess. And that one is mishit that time by Hughes. Aztecs continuing to tap into the depth to Naima Castro. Into the match along with Eva Wierzbowski and Mia DeJohn. Castro, another of the Nevada transfers, formerly at Patrick Henry High here in San Diego, started all 18 games as a freshman last year. So one of those now former intra-conference looks.
And number 18, Mia DeJean.
Aztecs and the Wolfpack matching up in the Mountain West. Eva Wierzbowski, redshirt freshman season out of Doylestown, Pennsylvania, and Mia DeJean, the Boulder, Colorado native we saw in 7 matches a year ago. Trying to play that slip pass through the left side. Good physicality and pursuit that time from Wierzbowski. Portland State finds its way through. Good find from Hughes to unlock the midfield line. Advantage played here for the Vikings. And trying to pick out Flores over the top, but plenty of speed that time for Geiger. Now good to see the advantage rule applied. Couldn't make anything of it. So now it's the Aztecs looking to go the other direction. Already 8 student athletes off the bench for San Diego State. Seen 4 substitutions on the other side for Portland State. Aztecs float one in, and once again off the line goes Finley Crabtree. Down to ground and secures it. And that is Mia DeJean making the move forward. Inside of 5 minutes to go in the opening half between the Aztecs and the Vikings, with the early goal by SDSU from Kenny Moore. Got 10 shots for them on frame, 5 shots, 1 on target on the other side for the Vikings. Picone getting through some traffic, finds herself in a lot of space. Sets it up with the right. Looking to go for Sarabia that time. Turned it into the middle, and we're seeing that you get the ball at the feet of Picone, and good things are happening for this group. I think going in the halftime, that has some good potential to be A1 to the top of the list. Points of emphasis coming into the second half. Let's get the ball more at the feet of Yamili. Slipped right through 2 Aztec defenders, and actually I thought had more space to go centrally as opposed to trying to play that pass. Aztecs were better set up wide than they were in the middle defending that. Attacking half takeaway for SDSU. Wierzbowski centers it up for Schenk. Schenk will play it all the way back. He'll resume possession once again. High volume of it for SDSU. Hambro Svensson looking for some help that time. She was watched by Saldana, and now it's taken away. Saldana hanging around, picks the pocket. Vikings with a chance to press higher up the pitch here. It's Sarabia. Looking right side, then sends it back to the left. Headed down by the Aztecs. They also track down the second ball, so they get back on it. Wierzbowski back for Geiger. Aztecs drawing in a couple Vikings, but they're ready to go once again. The off-ball work from Portland State last handful of minutes has been good, and they found themselves in a couple good spots. Oh, there it is. I shouldn't have said Pilots earlier. I jinxed the I jinxed that entirely. But the Vikings getting on the move. Note to next time, just don't say it. If you don't say it, you won't say it. It's not that hard. And it has been a couple good minutes after a long stretch without getting forward. Like the moves that Vikings had gotten into the box, threatening a little bit along with Picone. Now a matter of trying to figure out ways to put a few more balls on target. 5 shots and just one of them on frame.
1 minute remaining in the first
Inside
half.
of a minute to go until we get to the break. Aztecs played long. Vikings come out with it. This one goes out off of San Diego State. And no injury time, so right up to 45 minutes. That'll be the stopping point for the first half. Aztecs reset along the back inside of 30 seconds, now needing to move forward. Geiger and Wierzbowski connecting with it. Back here for Gerson. About 10 seconds to go. We'll see if they launch something here. Play it up the right side. They'll go ahead and play it along to that back line and let the clock come to a close in the opening 45 minutes. And San Diego State with a fast start, getting 10 shots away in the opening half and getting a goal inside of 10 minutes. Kenny Moore once again with the left boot outside the box as San Diego State leading Portland State 1-0 at the break. We'll go ahead and step aside for the beginning of halftime. Come back and get you into our halftime content. This is Pac-12 Women's Soccer. We'll see you soon in San Diego. Back on the SDSU Sports Deck on a 97-degree Sunday afternoon. No, that is not the norm here in San Diego. It's the hottest day of the year. And the other thing heating up is San Diego State women's soccer offense leading Portland State 1-0 at the break on a Kenny Moore goal. Second time that Moore has tabbed one from outside the box in 3 matches as an Aztec. So getting off to a solid start. And as we talked about, building that highlight tape early in her SDSU career. Just out of the reach of Crabtree. 1 touch to set it up. All momentum going forward and right into that near corner. You could see from that backside, that was a really good look. Moore setting up for the shot. Crabtree still hopping off to the right. That opened up that little bit of extra space. Portland State getting forward a couple times with the Aztecs putting up a few walls. More than a few scrums that looked like they could have been Viking goals. That didn't end up being the case. David Gentili with you on the call for this one. Megan Townsley pitch side for us. Megan, your impressions of the opening half.
SDSU has Well, David, the score does not reflect the pressure SDSU has put on Vikings keeper Finley Crabtree in the first half. Multiple Aztecs have had shots on goal, including freshman KK Juana Bandu with 2 early in the first half and a couple off target. Also, Victoria Miller with a chance of her own. As for the Vikings, Yamile Pacone has been handling the ball very well. I've been very impressed with her footwork, especially taking up space that the Aztecs back line has been giving her. So I believe she should be the focus of attack for Portland State moving forward.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think ball at Picone's feet. Good way for Portland State to try and work its way back into this match, down a goal at the break. We're going to step aside once again. When we come back, halftime rolls on with Pac-12 women's soccer. Aztecs on top of the Vikings in San Diego. A West Coast battle in the San Diego Heat with SDSU on top of Portland State 1-0 at the break. David Gentili welcoming you back into the sports deck as we give you a look at some of the first half highlights. This Portland State team doing a lot of defending, and San Diego State dangerous early on. Chance from point-blank range just minutes in the match. They got the waves of attack coming down the right side, down the left side, down the center. They played short, they played long. They got a lot of different student athletes involved. That was the goal from Kenny Moore. Second in 3 matches from the Aztecs. Once again, outside of the box with the left boot. Exceptional there from Moore. That was the big offensive effort for San Diego State. And then the Aztec mosh pit holding the back line. No way for the ball through. Making a clutch defensive effort there. KK Chiwana Bandu with the shot out from distance. Good runs and physicality down the right side from Victoria Miller. And again, a lot of action between Finley Crabtree in the cage. Here's that second scrum kind of play for SDSU, walling it up, knowing where they had to be to get that thing away and keep the ball out of the back of their net. So that was some of the big moment type of production that you saw in that opening 45 minutes. San Diego State 1, Portland State 0. We'll come back and get you ready for the second half with Pac-12 women's soccer after this. Back inside the SDSU Sports Deck, getting ready for the second half of action for Pac-12 women's soccer. It's San Diego State 1, Portland State 0. David Gentili with you on the call. Megan Townsley with us on the sidelines today. I want to say a big thank you to the sports information directors, Andy Jobanek with Portland State and Sam Myers with San Diego State. Also to our production crew, and most especially our camera ops, Andres Flores and Kyler McPhillips, on a doubleheader day here at the Sports Deck. We've talked a lot about how hot it is. We haven't mentioned that Megan and I have been in his shade the whole time. These guys are out battling the sun, doing the real tough work, so kudos to you guys. Back in the control room, we've got Zach Savage, Andrew Kim, Kat Kohaloon, our producer, Sean Scarborough, our director. Shout out to Nico Katzen, our PA, with us right here as well, and our executive producer, Andrew Burton. Portland State out of the Big Sky. Let's see what's going on elsewhere in the league here on this Sunday afternoon. Northern Arizona hosting UC San Diego, 0-0 coming up on halftime. Later on tonight, Colorado State heading to Northern Colorado. The Bears hosting the Rams. Northern Colorado out of the Big Sky against Colorado State. Another Pac-12 Big Sky crossover matchup. Montana on the road had a tough time against number 10 Washington, falling 4-0. Utah Tech dropped a 3-0 decision to Portland at home. Eastern Washington on the road, 3 goals in the back of the net and a 3-1 win over Western Illinois. Idaho State coming down to California. And the Pac-12 in non-conference. Some regional leagues, not uncommon to see that. Elsewhere in the Pac-12 tonight, Fresno State on the road. Tough trip to the Central Coast, dropping 1-4-0 to UC Santa Barbara. Gonzaga, 3-1 winners at New Mexico. Washington State and North Dakota State played out to a goalless draw. This is the only match currently in action. Texas State with a big matchup in Waco against number 6 Baylor in about 30-plus minutes time. Boise State also with the big road matchup, taking on Texas Tech. Kaylee Carlin and the Aztecs ready to roll into the second half. In the white with the scarlet, attacking left to right. Across your screen, Portland State in the green, attacking right to left. Second ever meeting between these two programs. San Diego State finished with 59% of possession in the opening half, and 58% of the time when the Aztecs had the ball, they were in the attacking half. Not a lot with it near their goal, so getting the ball in the right areas of the pitch. Aztecs, I think it's keep on keeping on. Even when Portland State was able to get forward, they still found ways to go back the other way and generate some chances. I think the big thing for the Pilots, try and play through Yamile Picone when she is out on the pitch in this second 45. Had some of the more dangerous moments in the opening half. Starters for you momentarily when we confirm those for this second 45 of action. Right now it's a battle of number 12s on the right side. Victoria Miller on the ball a lot for San Diego State in the first half. Now in lots of space thanks to the pass from Moore. Gets the cross away, on a hop, spilled in front of goal and off the bar. Second chance for the Aztecs goes wide. And a great opportunity for San Diego State with just about an open goal, and they cannot get it across the line. Great peel off, great reading that time by Kana Smith for the Aztecs. And just as they did within the first few moments of that opening half, streaking forward and generating a good challenge, and Smith is off the bench just minutes into her NCAA debut there. Freshman out of Kaneohe, Hawaii, and Maryknoll School. Right place, right time, just underneath the ball, as San Diego State bid for a second goal. And Crabtree, for the most part, Viking keeper, when she's come off her line, has been pretty sure-handed. Not a lot of out-and-out spills. With the ball getting away like that and leading to a golden chance for San Diego State. And it's got the feel of a match where, with how much pressure the Aztecs are putting on right now, if they find a second goal, it's going to be tough for Portland State to dig out at 2. Chase a 2-goal deficit, but 1 goal for the Vikings with how they're playing so far, more than doable, especially with how they closed that first half. And Picon, who we talked about, back on the ball here. Some good involvement close to goal. Found her way through multiple Aztec defenders a couple times. She can create that danger moment near the box. She can draw a couple defenders in, get through them, and then all of a sudden you're in a spot where you pulled them out of position a little bit. You get that momentary advantage. Then can you run and go make something out of it? Goes out of play, stays with San Diego State for a throw in here. Carlin, Gerson, Miller, Moore, Smith, Bidet, Nakamoto, Weiss, Sen, Castro, and Fuller, the 11 for the Aztecs. Smith turning the corner, getting into the box. Tries to play it through, walled off. Big-time intervention and then knocked out. Looked like it was Gabby Flores, one of the first half subs, getting in the way. Right at the top of the attack, right involved quickly for Kana Smith. It's been a good couple minutes. Very explosive players, got great strength, a lot of talent for San Diego State. Another one with massive offensive upside. Played off the corner, nice one into the box, and Miller's off the mark. A good design there for San Diego State, reading what the Vikings were giving the Aztecs. So much attention centrally on a potential ball in the air that San Diego State took it with a couple numbers, continued to play it short, and got Miller in a good spot to let one fly. Positive start for SDSU getting into this second half. Aztecs looking to get things sorted in front of their own bench. Crabtree back in the cage for Portland State. Elsewhere for the Vikings, we're seeing Alexi Cataldi, the senior out of Corona, another Southern California product among the 11. Rest of them in a moment as the Aztecs get back on the move and win a corner. Defending piece that time from Hughes as San Diego State once again finding some activity through Kenny Moore. Over there with Miller, they do have Sen, who's in all kinds of space. They played it to her last corner. They'll do it again. Sen with the left, well off target. But if you have that space, you might as well take advantage of it. I think it's the right idea for SDSU. Sen, with what she's done in terms of setting up teammates during her Aztec career, the right one to pick out. A breakout season last year, 8 assists, tied for second most in the Mountain West. Her first 2 goals in consecutive matches, and had one of the big early season tallies for San Diego State. They went on the road to Pepperdine when the Waves were receiving votes and picked up a win in the early part of September. Talked about that gauntlet of a schedule. You have goals at different times of the season that can really get you kick-started, and that one was a huge piece for the Aztecs in non-conference play. A free kick inside the attacking half for Portland State. They're going to take it right down the chute. Gerson heads it down. Sen gets it away. Vikings settle it down, look to get the build going. Both teams setting up in the back threes. This one comes all the way into the box, tracked down by Gerson, and Carlin called into action to go and get it. Saldana bearing down once again. Also the first time we're seeing McKenna Eggleston in this match and in this season for the Tigard Oregon native. Picone, Sitton, Jakang, Flores, Sarabia, Saldana, Boyer, and the line rounding out the Viking 11 here in the second half. So San Diego State has made 9 substitutions. 10 outfield players, 9 different ones have come off the bench. A little more into the depth for both of these teams, but not a surprise with this kind of heat. Second match of the week to close this thing out. 0-3 start to the year for Portland State, winning the loss for San Diego State. Vikings, who have not led this year, still without a goal on the season. Their free kick to take right now for this group under Maureen Whitney, who had a terrific professional career, played in the WPSL with the California Storm, a 4-time All-Star, 2-time champ in 02-04, the league MVP in 05, and a 10-year captain. And now 10 years at the helm, or 10 years with the program, rather. 3rd year in charge of Portland State. Aztecs work it around the horn. The build sets it up for Moore. Cuts it back for Miller. Tracks it, first time cross, back post. Looking for the run on the other end of that thing for Naima Castro. Mountain West All Newcomer team performer. 5 goals on the year for Nevada a season ago, 2 in conference play. Scoring against New Mexico and at Air Force. And then picked up an assist in the season finale at UNLV for the Wolfpack. Smith rolls a pass into the box, navigated the traffic well. Vikings get it away, but it's right back on their doorstep again. Nakamoto. Good long stretch of possession here for SDSU, turning that cleared ball right back into attack. Skips through some traffic and gets all the way through once again to Crabtree. Vikings running forward, straight end to end that time, almost leading to a chance. San Diego State intervening with Lily Boudet out of Montpellier in France. Critical component for this San Diego State team. Vikings go direct, Aztecs wall it off. Back once more for Sen, and they can start the build through the midfield. Now quickly forward for Miller. Couple options on the right, trying to cut it back, and secondary defending then from Hughes. Aztecs moving forward again. Kenny Moore back and forth with Smith. Moore running on the end of it, trying to go and get it first time, and it goes out for a goal kick. That one was a matter of recognition for Moore. Was trying to round on the ball and go and hit it first time to keep the attack going. The other play there for Moore would have been, because of how much space she was in, just go keep the ball in play. You had time to settle on it and reset the attack. Another long one and a free kick for Portland State. Vikings with a few of these goal kicks going long, going direct. Led to some good numbers running forward on the previous sequence, and I think they might have something with this approach, getting out of their half of the pitch. foul on the challenge and quickly set up with a lot of numbers forward, which is where they want to be here as time continues to roll on in the second half. 57th minute. And trailing for the better part of 50 minutes now. Delivered into the area, out by the Aztecs. Battle for possession, good way away from the SDSU 18-yard box. Vikings settle on it again, and they're going long one more time. Like a header on, but nobody running on the other end of it. Carlin comfortably scoops it up for SDSU. Today over with Fuller. Good reading of the play that time. DeLine steps in to take it away. Now quickly looking to turn it into attack. Saldana through two Aztecs, but couldn't get by at third. Another good play from Connor Smith. An early chance on the spilled ball to start off the half. Here in her NCAA debut. Now falling back and doing some good work in the midfield. Sen leaking forward for the Aztecs is offside. Almost there for SDSU. Let's check in with Megan Townsley.
David, a common theme throughout this game today is the fact that Portland State is just trying to find that breakthrough. But the Vikings, they have been defensive-minded over the past couple years, averaging less than a goal per game in both 2024 and 2025. So while a lack of goal scoring isn't ideal, it isn't atypical for the Vikings. Back to you, David.
Yeah, that's something and a number that you certainly want to up, and it's been a thing that this group has been trying to solve for some time now. A lack of goal-scoring production. It is really hard to put one across the line. Then it's ultimately where a lot of teams, you talk to head coaches of programs that are performing well, performing to standards, underperforming, whatever it is, the message is almost always about, hey, where's your group at? What are your priorities right now? There's always more room to be goal dangerous. Vikings will be set up in a good spot here. As the line comes up on it. Drop this one back. DeLine gets the cross away, trying for something fancy, and that is coming back for a handball, but that was a good moment and a good look. And you would have been seeing that thing on social media for a couple of days if Sarabia had connected. Led the team in minutes a season ago. 18th NCAA start with, or check that, that was just last season. 17 starts last season, 32nd NCAA start, 39th match for Sarabia. Some good position and some good space there. So we get past the hour mark and another substitution for San Diego State. So Castro, who started the second half, will take a seat. Extended breather for Alexis Leith, who was tied with Victoria Miller, scoring 5 goals to lead San Diego State last year. Leith off the bench, right into action here. Looking back post for Miller, tries to run on it. Locked down and sent away. Battle of number 12 rolls on, and Josie DeLine makes the play again. So Leith storming back out of the gates. Miller watched by DeLine, back for Fuller out of Pleasanton and Amador Valley High School. Started all 20 matches for the Aztecs last year. Good experience for Fuller to build on. Moore, dangerous from outside the box. Back for Miller. First time cross, a lot of air under it. Aztecs running on with Leith and runs right through it and out for a goal kick. It's Aztec group that's been to 7 NCAA tournaments, 5 under Mike Friesen, who's been in charge here since 2007. Last time they were in the postseason was 2017. Did win Mountain West regular season title to add to a large collection of hardware a couple years back. And Friesen departed the Mountain West with the most overall wins with 204 and league wins 117 by a Mountain West head coach. Leith streaking forward again. Leith with the left, looking forward, loose in front and sent out. Saldana goes and gets it. Leith back off the bench and right into business mode for San Diego State. She draws a foul, and she's making a difference as the Aztecs look for that second goal. She's able to work her way around some defenders. A lot of traffic there. Crabtree somehow spotting that through all the bodies, going to ground and managing to get it away. So it's a free kick just left of the box from Katie Sen. 4 Aztecs lined up along the back post. Aztecs try and play it on the ground. Leith with the left rolls it through. Easy stop Crabtree. Think back to some of those corners that San Diego State has taken short. And one thing the Aztecs are doing well on the pitch is recognizing what Portland State is lining up like defensively and then saying, okay, where's the easy way to go find the space? And they did it that on the ground. Miller back into the box. Waldoff will go and track it down as 2 Vikings on her. Fuller with the left. Scooting it across the box. Nobody on the other end of that for SDSU. And Yamile Picone back on the ball here. Bumped down and fouled. It's been maybe a little more play through the left side for Portland State in this second half. We had highlighted Picone as somebody who had been dangerous. I don't think she's gotten as many touches compared to that involvement late in the first half as you might have expected to see with how well she ended it. And this group has found a way to get forward. Right now set up pretty much right at the top of the attack. Played out in front of the San Diego State bench by Jakeng. 48th NCAA appearance with 27 starts now. Hey, look at this group. You had Kendall Johnson starting, coming in from the same conference with Montana. Grizzlies swept the Big Sky regular season and tournament titles a year ago. So some good experience there. Now Frazier, who's off the bench for this group. Second team All-Big Sky. Saldana, 2-time All-Big Sky honoree, including the first freshman of the year for the Vikings in their Big Sky history 2 years back. Fuller looking forward. Miller back out in that wide spot. Pretty big gap between the back line and the midfield. Aztecs pass their way into it, trying to get it through to Leith. Vikings misplay it. Leith back on the move and a sliding challenge. Big time stuff from Jakeng. Leith has been hard to bottle up since coming back into the match. And ball won back by Boyer, but can't find the way forward. Couple good defensive interventions for the Vikings. Aztecs settle it down. Nakamoto gets it over to Leith. Sliding challenge that time from Picone, who remains down on the pitch. She slid in and looked like kind of got the right foot caught under herself as she was going in to make that challenge. Jay Schlesinger, the head referee, over to have a look. And they'll call out the athletic training staff and Madeline Smith to come check on you, Millie Picone. Whole team's coming over. This is right about the right time for that hydration break, and everybody heading over to the benches. 66:59 on the second half clock. San Diego State on top of Portland State 1-0. While they take the break, we will step aside with them. Pac-12 women's soccer, more of it coming up next. Back to action here in San Diego. Aztecs, quick look off the restart. Dancing across the goal line and out. 1-0 San Diego State over Portland State in the 68th minute. What's going on, Megan Townsley?
David, Alexis Leith has been relentless on the outside since the hydration break, since coming in the second half, and even throughout this entire game. What's great about her is she is one of 6 players on the roster from San Diego County. She got interviewed by one of the local newspapers and said since she was little, she's always wanted to be an Aztec. Being able to come here was a huge dream, of course, and also playing on the team with some players that she knows from club soccer in high school. It's been really fun. Back to you, David.
And a really good time to be a youngster and a fan of San Diego State growing up right around when Leith did. The 09 squad, the NCAA tournament, we talked about it earlier, the 3 straight Mountain West doubles, 12, 13, and 14. Got back to the NCAA tournament in 2017, continuing to stack conference championships, regular season champs in 19 and 23 as well. And for Leith out of West Hills, watching the Aztecs play her into some space on the left side. It looks a lot, and she's offside here. It looks a lot like it did with Emma Gaines Ramos, and that's a big comp because she was really good for San Diego State. Pace, kind of that lethal speed down the wing. Just watch her go downhill and get stuff done, and that's what Leith's been doing in the second half. Think about that Aztec crew a couple of years ago. Man, Emma Gaines Ramos and Denise Castro, they had a wealth of offensive riches. And that's something that's been the identity of this team for a long time under Mike Friesen. When they're at their best, it's elite level attacking soccer. Great talent, great speed, great understanding. Just an ability to put waves and waves of pressure on the opposition. It's where they're looking to build back toward here this year. An offside flag up once again. Sen running along that front line. And playing a little more forward for San Diego State, Katie Sen. Somebody who they really like right now, being in control of the team, controlling the rhythm of the game. They love her ability on the ball, and then you pair that with the work rate centrally, and that's part of what the style calls for. You got to be able to move and cover a lot of ground, and she's been an exceptionally well-rounded student athlete for San Diego State. Vikings play out of some pressure inside of 20 minutes to go here on the sports deck. Turn back to the middle that time by Saldana. Still manages to keep it around a couple Aztecs and lets it go. That took a touch. That's a Portland State corner. Some individual quality from the La Habra High School product. 5 goals, 3 assists across 38 career matches, including a pair of match winners. Sarabia sets up for the corner. Short run up, plays it in, lands on the turf once again. Left-footed effort blocked by the Aztecs. Back out to Sarabia. Still numbers in the box as she works with spots on the right side. Plays it out, stays with Portland State for a throw. Well, for all the pressure that this team has seen, they've found moments to get forward. They've found a way to stop San Diego State from getting that second tally. And that big difference between not giving them that second goal. The Vikings are right in this thing as they look for a first result on the season. Seen 15 shots head at their net, 1 of them for a goal, 4 of them for saves. Throwing goes wayward, nobody can track it down. Compared to just 6 shots and 1 on target for their part. So back for the Aztec build, and this was something that you looked at a lot of the results for San Diego State in conference play. As you get toward the end game with the lead. This group was shaky late in games last season. Find a lot of space working up the right side. It's Smith. Smith back around, plays it out for Moore. First time cross. Aztecs backtracking, headed out of the area. Fuller plays it in first time with the left and easy on a hop for Crabtree. That'll be critical for San Diego State this year, handling these kinds of situations when you have that 1-goal lead late. Can you protect it? Can you see it out? And a really good way to help yourself do that is continuing to hunt that second goal. That's the thing. This is really a group. It's just not within the principles of play all that often that they'll go and sit in the low block. So you possess the ball in high volumes, which helps you out. But then you try and find that second goal. Miller plays it in, down and away that time by Spots. Stays with San Diego State. Moore looking for Miller, and a couple extra stretches from Josie DeLine, who's been tangled up with Miller all afternoon. Miller with eyes up, back here for Moore. And back on for Gerson. Comfortable playing out wide in that position. Mentioned that Gerson sets up a lot as a center back, but there's a lot of freedom to move around to try and help that attack when San Diego State has the ball in the attacking half, then comes back and resets. Leith back up that left side, opens up some space for Nakamoto. I'll return it to Leith. Spots defending. Leith trying to get around, bumped down, and it's a corner. In the 5th corner for San Diego State. Sent over to take it. They'll have Miller in short support. Now Portland State putting some more numbers out to maybe try and put a stopper to that short corner look that the Aztecs have been favoring. And with that, they're going to send Miller into the box. Not bother with a short look. Good looking ball flicked on for Smith and blocked out of play. That one had some heat coming off. Big time stuff to get in the way that time. Looked like Kamaria Hughes who's down on the pitch. We saw Yamili Picone clock out injured a little less than 10 minutes ago. This is what you got to do. Coming in, helping out, and right off the side there. Had that near post stopped up by Jakang, so Hughes going over to stop that thing from getting anywhere dangerous. I mean, that much pace on it, that close to goal, that could be a problem for a lot of different reasons. Send it clean away. Won the moment. Go back and defend another corner here. Played in with the left. Aztecs flick it on right to the back post and sent out. Backliners coming right off the goal line to go and get it away. San Diego State had some of those scrum moments in front of its own net defensively. We have seen some pretty good work from outfield players along the back line in this one. Less than a quarter of an hour left. Leith now a little more central for San Diego State. Moore, who took the last corner a moment ago, finds Miller. Plenty of space for Miller to get a cross away. Plays one in, Vikings headed out. Quick and decisive look that time from Miller, who just took the moment, angled up on goal. Thought that was one of the better pieces of service we've seen from a wide area. Defensive work to shield off Leith. That's DeLine who's doing work on both sides of the pitch defensively. Wins a goal kick for the Vikings as Saldana will take his seat and Maya Wells is back into action.
Number 33, Maya Wells.
'29th match for Wells with the Vikings. Anna Smith chasing after it, has it for SDSU. Smith with room to run. Getting toward the goal line, too heavy of a touch that time from Kana Smith, and it goes back to Portland State. Won it in a spot where there was very little early resistance between Smith and the goal. Looking like Leith making the move down that left side. It's been a good effort so far from Smith tonight. Thinking a good match, too, with San Diego State being on as much possession as it has been on to get some of these student athletes in off the bench. Played over the top. Nice control from Sen. Out wide to Miller. Couple runners in the box. Miller settles it down, has Moore. Now drifts into the 18. Moore trying to get on that left foot. Streaking across the top of the box, keeps the move going. It'll end up back with Leith. DeLine in the area once again. They run right into each other, and it goes out for a San Diego State corner. Aztecs are getting set to bring in KK Chawana Bandu when they get the right opportunity. Kind of drifting toward the ball, and both have the same idea. Take the corner short, left-footed effort, ends up out wide. And Joanna Bandu ready to go back to work here for the Aztecs. Last 15 minutes of the match. When the leading team makes a substitution, the clock is stopped. No injury time, so that eliminates being able to do any sort of time wasting with substitutions, which used to be a great way to bleed out some clock late in the game, and it was a rule that needed to change and did. And to good effect for NCAA women's soccer. Also stops in the last 15 minutes in the match is tied because, well, sometimes that draw can be a good result for you, especially when you get later on in the season. So you might be more apt to bleed off a little bit of time if you think you can defend it out. So now any sort of using the substitutions, and because of the re-entry rule in the turn the roster over and take off minutes by just making substitutions one at a time. The timing, the sub rules, very unique to this level of the game, almost unlike anywhere else that you see in organized soccer. And it's an interesting piece to see. Student athletes have to get used to it. Head coaches have to get used to it. And it opens up a lot more possibilities for how you can utilize your roster, utilize your depth. Go out for shorter stints, find ways to change the game with personnel. And ultra important in this 97-degree heat, see if you can get some longer periods of rest for your student athletes. And work to open up the space for Chowana Bandu before giving it away with the pass. Very smooth, very fluid on the ball for SDSU. Nakamoto finds Leith. Working on the line, plays the cross in. Chowana Bandu trying to get there. And they're going to bring it back for a foul on Leith, who was run into by Spots just outside the area. So it's a free kick outside the box for SDSU. The timing of that whistle was just about simultaneous with Sydney Spots doing that defensive work in the box. So for a moment, you're seeing that whistle and thinking, hey, that might be a penalty, but brought back for the action after that cross. The late contact and the foul on Leith. 9 minutes to play. Sen stands over the free kick. One Aztec at the front post. Most of everybody else in the box bunched up along the back. 5 Aztecs at the edge of the 6. Sen rolls it in short, getting it to Leith, and the shot comes through, but Crabtree with a clean catch. First time hit from Leith with the left in a good position. Ended up being a comfortable save as the Vikings now bringing 2 student athletes in. Amelia Sitton and Elias Saldana back into action.
Number 9, Amelia Sitton.
Sitton, the UC Irvine transfer, back in, and Saldana, one of their most decorated student athletes in terms of Big Sky accolades. Back into it here, some fresh legs for the final 8 minutes. Played forward, controlled by the Vikings. Nice work from Kendall Johnson. Montana transfer keeps Portland State on the ball. Continued to find these moments. See if they can make something happen here in the attacking third. Let's work getting through everybody that time from Saldana. Aztecs stepping out, trying to make it uncomfortable. Hughes back with it. They'll give Hughes some space to work with it. Surveyed the options, decided to keep it along the back line. Here's Jakang. Dribbling through, takes a deflection. Aztecs organized enough to deal with that one. And now Nakamoto can get him going the other way. 2 assists across 20 matches for Nakamoto last season. Draws in the defense. Out wide to Leith. Sitton blocks it, trying to chase it down to turn it into a throw, and she does. Both pieces of the defending that time from Sitton, getting in the way and then getting the ball away. Big difference between a corner and a throw. Well done. Along that back line for the Vikings. San Diego State going right back to that spot. Nakamoto. Walled off by Saldana. Goal kick Portland State, 6 minutes to play. Crabtree plays the goal kick. Aztecs sitting back a little bit, so ends up in a good spot to start. Nothing doing there for Maya Wells. And a throw in here for SDSU. Wells steps back into it, wins a free kick. Got into position and then didn't continue to initiate that contact. That was nicely done by Maya Wells. Sometimes you come flying in, you keep the momentum going, and you just knock somebody over, but you can go in and just set up that little back to the opposition move. Box them out, win a free kick. Those kind of moments, they've got to win as many of them as they can down the stretch. And Carlin quick off the line to go and get it. Just one save for San Diego State as Portland State now looks to put the pressure up, and that'll win a throw. Got to have it time and the right time to do it. Hughes will start the build. Plays one forward. Good numbers in the area. Ended up skipping through. Just needed somebody to go and read it, but some of those direct passes, they've favored that a couple times in this second half. Play it with a little height. Go right at the teeth of the defense. Try and get after him, but you're approaching the time now. 4 minutes to go for Portland State. Or it's got to be all systems go. Leith this time on a transition look for San Diego State. Keeps popping up with the ball on this left side. Leith crosses it in right in front of goal. Couldn't square up the header that time from Chiwana Bandu. Vikings get it away. The numbers look good if they can get out of this. Sarabia turns it centrally, plays it here. Johnson is onside. And Kendall Johnson, they'll say nothing doing. Emma Fuller backtracking for San Diego State with the speed. Looked like some contact there. But they say play on. Now back here to Sarabia. And stays with Portland State. Another look at this one. Just a bump. It's not a lot of contact, but I think under the circumstances, that's enough to give a foul. Pretty close one, potentially. Live, I thought it was a foul. Watching it back, I think more foul than not. That one was close. Now the Vikings have stepped up the pressure once again. Aztecs play it out the back. Trying to find the release. That's not a bad outcome for San Diego State. Worst thing you can do here for the Aztecs is control it along your back line or deep in your midfield and give away something a little too easy. You can smash the ball up the pitch. There's no problem with that. You try and see out the last couple minutes. Goes out off of Smith, and now Spots will come back for the throw. Portland State has made this push. The Vikings have been close. They're going to make a substitution, and they got to get this sub in quick because the clock does not stop for these. Good to see Picone back into action after taking that injury about 20 minutes ago. He's been at the center of some of the bigger danger moments. Try and see if they can get it her way, but nothing doing there. Throw in for San Diego State. Now rush for the Aztecs, and now you see the referee has the discretion to stop the clock here late. I feel like team in the lead's taking a little too long to get going. Vikings come crashing through, battling for it in their defensive midfield, and a free kick given against Chawana Bandu. I'm not sure about that. Jakang had a grab of the jersey. If anything, that was a foul on Portland State. And now we'll see the stoppage of the clock, and a yellow card is out. Presumably for dissent from Katie Sen, who was off the ball there. But if you're going to get a yellow card arguing a call, that would be the one to argue. I'll have to march this back into the own half. Good 3-4 yards or so. Jakang getting set up to play long. Could have somebody like Spots come back and run short. They'll go for it here. Inside of a minute to go. Headed out by the Aztecs. Left-footed boot from range. Carlin watches it go out. And a goal kick for San Diego State. And the Aztecs a moment closer here as Gerson sets up to take this one. It was a short goal kick that led him to giving away that penalty last time around. This one's going to be put into a pretty good spot. Vikings rally and go and get it again. Popped up middle of the park. 15 seconds to go. That's a foul, and that's going to just about do it.
10,
An early goal for San Diego State, a battle through and through.
5,
Portland State hung around, had some chances, but the Aztecs, with more left foot magic from Kenny Moore, see their way through to a second win in 3 matches this season. It finishes San Diego State 1, Portland State 0 at full time. 2 wins and a loss now on the year for SDSU. Portland State thought the fight looked good, the effort looked good, the creation of moments looked good for a team that hasn't scored, now falls to 0-4 as they continue to navigate some big-time non-conference matchups. Look to take this momentum back to Nevada. The good thing is there is rest in the midweek. That next matchup back home at Hillsborough Stadium, not until next Sunday at noon, so they'll have the week to get back to work before match day number 5. And as for San Diego State, continuing a nice home stretch here. In fact, it'll be the last of a 3-match home stretch against the Pacific Tigers. That's coming up on Thursday, 7:30 kickoff. Pac-12 women's soccer will be back here with you for that one. Kenny Moore in the 10th minute. San Diego State finishing with 20 shots, 7 on target. Portland State 7 shots, 1 on frame. 6 saves in the cage for Finley Crabtree, 1 on the other side for Kaylee Carlin. Again, a big thank you to our entire production crew sticking around in the heat today. Our producer, Kat Kohaloon, director, Sean Scarborough, and our executive producer, Andrew Burton. So for Megan Townsley, I'm David Gentili. Final score once again, Aztecs win this thing 1-0 and get their first home win of the 2026 season. From all of us here at the Sports Deck, thanks so much for hanging out with us on this hot Sunday in San Diego. And as the Aztecs come over to serenade the fans, we'll bid you so long from the Sports Deck.